ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. I am your host, Michael Karvelis, and this is Daily Dive. It is Friday, April 3rd, 2026, and this show begins now. We are live streaming via the airwaves of North American Talk Radio on YouTube. Thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe to catch other great shows like this one and live sports such as college men's volleyball, which airs tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern, and tonight at 8 o'clock, college baseball. Cannot wait to see that. We thank you again for supporting the network here. On today's awesome show, we've only got one guest today. It is Gamble Guy. Gamble Guy will come on our new start time here of 1 o'clock to break down his best bets and yet another winning week for him. Cannot wait to talk to him first thing. Then I'll give you the Crew's pick 'em and, of course, my predictions for the week. And stay tuned for our best bets and Captain's Ladder. I do want to let you know the captain is feeling under the weather, and Pat Gregoire had other things going on. We appreciate those two for always helping us on our Friday preview shows. Before we get into it, this show is presented by the NLL merchandise found at natalkradio.us/NLL. United States residents, your teams like Colorado and Buffalo are making the playoffs. Gear up now before it's too late. It's not going to be too late, but it just sounds good when I say it. All right, so let's now bring in a man who, between March Madness and the NLL, has probably enjoyed watching some sports recently, especially with winning bets records. It's time to bring on Gamble Guy. Welcome back, sir.
Little Mikey Karvelis, all grown up. He even has hair gel in. But I'm going to quote Nelly Furtado. I'm like a bird, I'll only fly away. Philadelphia is flying away with those wings. At some point, we're going to have, and I love the NLL, but we're going to have to cope with some things, some inconvenient truths. Maybe this isn't for the States. Mikey, I remember when North American Talk Radio's YouTube was called 12-Ounce Sports, and we had a great partnership with the Akron Vulcans, a professional futsal team. I loved futsal. Everybody that helped us with the broadcast loved futsal. You know who didn't love futsal? The viewing audience. They didn't get a lot of fans. A lot of people watch it. It is what it is. I think it's a great sport. They're going to have to figure something out because this seems like a yearly thing. But aside from that, I'm going to still watch all weekend. And yes, I heard your little monologue there. I've been watching a lot of basketball and lacrosse, and I have a winning record in the NLL on this show, and I'm in first place right now in the bracket challenge. So I'm doing pretty well.
So I know, like, the easy thing to say is, oh, the NLL has no fans. How is
I didn't say that.
Well, you said no one likes to watch it. Well, if you're comparing,
maybe they don't. I said futsal didn't have any fans, but not enough people are watching is part of the problem. I didn't even know
futsal existed here in the States. That's what I'm talking about. Marketing.
Yes, that's part of the problem. That's all it takes.
It's funny how that works.
If we're gonna get into it before we do bets, I wonder if they'd be better served, broadcasting these games somewhere else.
Somewhere else.
I mean, you would
North American Talk Radio.
Yeah, I mean, you would think ESPN is the best place to house it, but I know I'm on the ESPN app all the time on my smart TVs, and you got to dig deep sometimes to find the games.
I have to dig. I watch it every week and I have to dig deep almost every time. Like, it took me like 10 weeks of watching for the algorithm on ESPN to show me, hey, here's your sport. Like, thank you.
Right. Sometimes they have cornhole before NLL on the thumbnails there.
It's bad. We can talk about it because I understand. Like, there was this article that came out about how Toronto Rock owner Jamie Dowlick was like, "Oh, some guys are just in it for the money." It's like, yeah, well, that's the problem. Is that we're not breaking even here, and to act like these owners should be crucified for that because the NLL doesn't make any money. How is that Comcast's fault? I don't.
So were you saying Jamie Dawick was criticizing owners for only being in it for the money?
He was a little bit like every other owner doesn't care besides a few people. Like, well, yeah, because no other owner is making money.
But these are businesses, so that's what
I
this isn't high school sports. These are businesses at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You don't lose money just for the sake of keeping a team. If you're losing money, you're not going to keep the team. That's just how it is.
Yeah, or if like you can find another tax. If the WNBA is actually going to make money now, why wouldn't I get rid of the NLL team? That doesn't make any sense.
Right,
Like
right.
throwing a bunch of concerts the NLL's out of the rink. That's great. Great business.
Maybe one day I'll deep dive and see how long it took the MLS to be in the black, because they struggled for many years, but they had a lot of money to back them. I don't know that the NLL has the similar type of money to kind of force it to stay alive until the fans come along. So I don't know.
That's like the WNBA being backed by the NBA. It's like it could be dead and have all these jokes written about it for years until now. So
eventually the WNBA will be self-sufficient, but again, the NLL has nobody to save them. Like the MLS had huge investors. Right. I mean, you never know. Maybe big time owners, because the Haslams from the Browns, they now own the Columbus Crew. You never know.
I didn't know that.
So
cool.
We shall see.
Yeah.
Or maybe the Haslams, I think, bought the women's version of the MSL or MLS
and WSL.
I'll get it together. Yeah.
Well, before we go off the rails here, let's do our bets, and we can probably circle back.
Well, everybody backed out on you today. I thought maybe you needed a little banter from the gamble guy.
Ooh, I miss Beck's banter. I can't lie. I can't believe I texted you and called Great Divide Beck's banter. That was a shame on me. I just realized that before the show started. All right. I have the Michael Karvelis podcast, I found out. Anyways.
There you go.
So I'm going to focus on the games that you're on. I'm pretty much in a similar mindset. The first game is tonight. Colorado Mammoth and the Las Vegas Desert Dogs. We both are on this game and the money line. Of which team do you like, sir, and why?
Well, you're going to say, oh, it's easy to take Colorado. But, I mean, technically, Las Vegas is on a 3-game win streak. So there's that. And, Colorado's kind of hit some road, some speed bumps here and there lately. Right. So, it could go either way. Now, Colorado did win this by 1 in Las Vegas. Now they have home field advantage, where I think they're they're almost 3 goals better at home, Colorado. Again, I say that every week, and they're 6-2 at home. I just this is, again, me now at this point. I have a winning record. I sometimes go with feelings and vibes. I just feel like Colorado now kind of got to get serious. They got Buffalo, Toronto breathing down their neck. We got a log jam at 8, 9, 10. So Las Vegas is kind of, urgency, but I'm purely picking this on the home field advantage.
I think I was similar to that, because if you look at the Colorado Mammoth home games this year, I'm just scrolling through them real quick. They are 6-2 at home, and like that includes a 20-9 smackdown against Buffalo, 16-8 against the Rock, who we think are pretty good. Like, they've had some really good games at home. And like you said, if you think about this game a little bit too long and say, well, maybe Vegas has found something. But what I like is I trust the Mammoths offense to bother the goaltending. Because the past 3 games, ever since trade deadline, I've said Sean Williams is first in his life pressed the goalie buttons correctly with pulling Bouquet and Kells. I don't think you'll be able to do that as correctly with this team, especially with Andrew Q on the historic heater that he is. I think the Mammoth will crash this team. I think they'll shoot outside. There's a lot of ways Colorado can pepper this net. And like you said, on the road for Vegas makes it even better for Colorado, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, You said maybe Vegas unlocks something. I mean, 3-game win streak. Now they're 1 game out of a playoff spot, so now they're
Right.
fighting for their lives. Two things did kind of scare me about this for Colorado is they only won by 1, and then Vegas is kind of figuring things out. But both goalies for the Mammoth have over an 80% save percentage, so I don't think Las Vegas can say that. I'm going to pull them up
because Bouquet started
Bouquet
their last 3 games, and even then, like, he had to be pulled a couple times in those games.
Yeah, all the Vegas goalies are under 80%, so we have a slight advantage at goalie, and I think we have a slight advantage on the carpet. So,
and legacy wise too. Back to that game you talked about earlier in the season. That was on Friday, the February 13th. One of those Friday the 13th things that popped up this year. Vegas did hold a 7-5 lead at half. Colorado led this game 13-9 in the fourth quarter before Vegas tried to make it cute. So it's not like the Mammoth were ever out of it. Like, they controlled it on the road, and then, like I said, Vegas tried to come back. But it was, I trust Mammoth. I trust Dylan Ward. I think the offense will bother Vegas's defense more than Vegas's offense will do the same. So we'll see.
Yeah, I feel like they took their foot off the gas a little bit in the fourth quarter of that first meeting. So
there also might be a Chase Frazier sighting. I don't know. They keep saying he might come back soon. Even if he does, I'm still riding Colorado. -159 on Coolbet, or if you're in the States, it's still like decent. You still get like a -168 on FanDuel. It's not the worst thing in the world, especially if you want to parlay. These are single bets, but just saying.
Right.
Next game. You got Westbrook?
Who'd you say? I want to see. Who'd you say might come back? Chase Frazier. I don't think NLL Stats gives you that information.
No, because he didn't play much this season, so he should be like at the bottom of their box score right now.
Well, I don't think they give you health status, is what I mean.
No, of course not.
No. Okay.
The guy can only do so much.
That's true.
All right, next up, let's do the Thunderbirds Rochester game. That is the first game tomorrow because it is all the way out in Halifax, an hour ahead of us, which is crazy. Listen, man, I'm kind of against you on this one, but tell me which side you are on and give me your reasoning for it. Is this another home play?
Well, I mean, Rochester's a half game better than the Thunderbirds. I just think you got to protect the nest when we have all these teams log jammed around the 8th seed. My first year now, it's top 8, right? Sure. It's going to make the playoffs. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, everybody's fighting for their lives. Not everybody, but, you have a good nucleus of teams that are fighting for their lives. And I just, I'm feeling like I like this matchup at home. I think they're going to be happy to be home. Like you said, it's kind of way out there for Rochester to travel. This was a weird one because I think it might be the only one this weekend the teams haven't played yet this year. So there wasn't a lot to go by.
Because they're like supposed to be a rival, but the NLL said screw your rivalry. Like, this is like Halifax is a team that got away. They are the original Nighthawks, and they went to Halifax, which kind of sucks for Rochester.
Right. So we shall see. I mean, Halifax didn't even look that impressive last week, beating the Wings.
Even the Georgia game, they got absolutely smacked in the face before they tried to come back.
They did. So maybe they can turn it on a little earlier this time. And again, I'm kind of going by the home field advantage. But if you look,
they're 2-5 at home.
Rochester wasn't really putting up much of a fight against anybody until they beat Oshawa last week. They were on a 3-game losing streak after the big upset over Saskatchewan. They haven't put together a 2-game win streak since January. So now they got to travel a long way. And have you, if I was in your brain, and why would you take Rochester? I think Rochester knows we might want to win this game. We go on the road to Buffalo and then Georgia after this.
People don't Rochester might be I think the half-game lead is like Rochester. There's a scenario where they kind of control their destiny here because the 9 losses means you finish 500 at best. If Rochester can finish, I don't think they will finish 10-8, but a 9th loss is just a kick in the face for them. The thing is, though, Rochester, I'm looking at this now, on the road, they do score more goals. Like in 2 less
Mhm.
games, they still have more goals. Halifax at home is 2-5, but historically, Halifax is 7-2 against this squad. That does not help me here, which is why I did not make my list.
And Halifax is a goal better on defense at home, so something's got to
All right.
give there. So,
Oh, I think this will be a lower scoring game than people. I had 12-10 Nighthawks.
okay, yeah. So we're a little opposite on the bet, but again, yeah, I do put value late in the season and tired of travel. I do put a little
Correct.
value on home field advantage. That's good for a goal or two in my mind.
Yeah, and again, like if these two teams are evenly matched, that's why again I couldn't put the Nighthawks money on my card. So I fully support the Thunderbirds here if that's what gets you a win. Next up, Seals Rock. I went both total and money line. Tell me why you like the Rock to bounce back here at home.
So, you know, I don't think both teams are doing real well. San Diego's on a 4-game loser. So, yeah, I think the Rock have shown us during this season at times they can be really good. I mean, the 3-goal win at Vancouver was impressive. Who's at the top of the table now? They beat down the Rush by 4. Kind of a head scratcher last week against the Wings, losing to them. Odd, but I think, there's no place like home. I think they're going to bounce back here. And again, there's been times where early in the season, the Rock hurt me because I bet them a lot early.
Correct.
I mean, I picked them a lot early on this show. But as they kind of progress through the season, they've shown us what they're capable of. If you look, they've beaten Colorado, they've beaten Vancouver, they've beaten Saskatchewan, they've beaten all the teams at the top of the table, and they really need to get back on the winning ways here. They don't want to drop in the standings as we near the playoffs. I like them beating the San Diego Seals, who again are on a 4-game losing streak.
It's funny because I just realized, well, I should have known this, but the Rock played the Seals in San Diego. It was 12-7 Rock.
Yeah, Rock won that by 5, and Rock was on the road there. So, I know that's 3 months ago, but still.
And the only good win for the Seals is when they played the baby version of the Warriors. Like when the Warriors were still trying to figure out how to make this chemistry work, they barely beat those guys. I agree with you. Like Toronto's got the far better wins. I told Pat Gregoire on Monday, because he said Toronto's in that group of 5 that can win the championship. And the Rock, they've played a couple of games this year where you can say, yeah, that's the best team in the NLL, just like the other 4 have. In a game that, it seems like it's close, but if you really look at the record this year, the Rock are a little bit better. They are, probably a step above, and they're at home. It's this point in the season. The Rock should do us well here. I think the Wings game, I think Pat talked about, starting your backup goalie in Philadelphia on a Sunday. Why would you expect your guys to get up for that game? I think they will be recharged and they'll be looking better here. I also, Gamble Guy, I enjoy the over 20.5. I think that at home, if you look at it, the Rock have actually been better at home this year in terms of scoring wise. While the defenses could be cute, I think we're going to crack a 21 or 22. And I feel like that's where this game will land. I picked the game personally at Rock 12-10. So I think we're going to get it by a goal and a half easily.
Well, this one wasn't easy to pick for me, picking the Rock, because if you look, the Seals are on a 4-game losing streak, but it's they lost by 2 to Colorado, lost by 2 to Vancouver, lost by 1 to the Rush, and lost by 1 to the Bandits. So they've been in every game. But if, again, you said they beat Vancouver early, it was in mid-January. They don't have any other impressive wins.
They don't finish these games, and even the Rush game, they were down by 2 or 3, and then the Joker screwed my -1.5 there. So I think the Seals to start the year were even matched. I feel like the Rock are, like I said, a step above.
Did you say you went the under on that?
Over. I went the over.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's risky because their last 3 games all went under that number.
But that assumes that the Rock are also going to lay an egg after what they did in Philadelphia. I think we got lucky. The Seals actually did that the last 3 games here.
Yeah.
I'm going to need them to score 8 or 9, but I think they're going to hit that.
Well, this will make you feel good. I'm looking through the schedule. Every game but one that the Toronto Rock has won this year has been over 20 total goals. Every game but one. The only one it didn't go over was the San Diego Seals 19.
Oh, gosh.
Sorry.
That's oh, man. But yeah, we can both agree the Rock win. I'm more confident than you are. I think a minus 142 is a. I wish these two teams were more evenly matched. But anyways, whatever. Vancouver, Buffalo. Listen, man, I, for one, because I know you're on the total, I picked Warriors 11-9. It seems like you're on that side of things. Who do you think wins, even though I know you're on a certain total in this game?
Well, I'm happy that I have a date with a lovely lady tomorrow, but I am sad that it's gonna be during this game because I would love to watch this game. Yeah, you ever watch Half Baked? There's only one thing more important than everything. It's a good movie from the 90s. Who do I think is going to win the game? I guess that's a good question. That's part of the reason I took the over/under because it was a tough question. It was a tough question to answer. Vancouver beat them, I think less than 2 months ago by 2. It was very tight. It was in Vancouver. Man, I think this is going to come down to, a last minute goal. I don't want to say last second, but last minute goal.
Yeah. Last goal wins.
I really do see this being, 10 to 9, 10 to 8. I really do. I think both teams have pretty good goalies. You got Del Bianco at 82%, which is very impressive.
Has been locking it down the last few games too.
And he's been locking it down. Yeah, he's up to 78.5. And I think earlier in the year he was at like the 75, 76 range.
Yes.
So and if you look at their schedule, they beat the Rush 8-7, the Seals 9-8. The Mammoth put 10 on them, but the Mammoth can put up goals. So, 3 of the last 5 games, they've given up less than 10. I'm feeling like these teams, cream of the crop. I think it's going to be a tight one. I think it's going to be physical, and I think that's going to keep the score low.
I like it. I feel like these games, like you said, because they are so. It feels like at this point they're pretty evenly matched, even though Buffalo's offense is kind of wet the bed until the end of these games. It feels like, to me, this is like kind of like a championship or at least a playoff 3-game series preview. They are going to be hell-bent on playing defense and stopping transition. I think it goes for one of those classic, kind of like some NFL games where you're like, man, this will be like a 20-17 just bloodbath. I freaking love it, dude.
It could be. I mean, then I would miss my pick, but that's all right. It's not the end of the world.
That's what I mean. Like, this is when, like, 2017 was low for NFL terms, you doke. I'm saying
I gotcha. Okay.
That the goalies are going to, like, lock it down. Defense will be the key here. I think that's why I like your under.
Do we know what the lowest total this season was?
I think it was 19
for the league. In an actual game.
12-3, Georgia beat Colorado, but I don't know if it went lower than 15.
I forgot about that one. I thought Oshawa or somebody got almost shut out or something.
There was an 8-7 Oshawa win.
They didn't. That
also was 15. How much are these?
Oh, no.
8-6.
Oshawa lost 11-2.
Oh.
I knew there was a game where they almost didn't score any goals.
Yes, and they also have the game in San Diego. That started bad. But anyways, so listen to these games to start the season. 15, 13, 14, 14 for Oshawa. There's your low scores of the season.
Crazy. There you go. Okay. I was just curious.
That doesn't apply to this game at all, by the way.
No.
All right, so Calgary against Oshawa, hosting Oshawa. Listen, man, at this point in the season, I know like hindsight's always 20/20, especially in these bet scenarios. I'm looking back now, looking at why did I think Oshawa was good in the first place. Like, their roster, like, the fact that at this point in the season, I can confidently say I agree with you about the Roughnecks winning this game is sickening to me. Like, I feel like they're going to crash the goalie. I feel like Dougie's going to have to, like, have a couple of things thrown at him. I like your Roughnecks pick, man.
If if it was a just world, Calgary and Oshawa would allow fans to play in this game because this is the battle of who could care less.
Correct.
You have two of the worst defenses and goal differentials duking it out. But I do, I pick this because they have identical records. Both are on losing streaks. I simply pick this because Oshawa is 1-7 on the road.
That's sick.
And if you look, the one win is the worst team in the league, Philadelphia Wings. So that's their only win on the road was at Philadelphia on March 8th. So that's really why I picked this game is Oshawa's 1-7 on the road. They both stink. We're just going to say Oshawa wishes they didn't have to travel this weekend and wish the season was over and move on.
Jeez. It's rough. I like your fan take. That was good. I'm gonna clip that for sure.
I mean, 12th man like Texas A&M. Just let one person come out and play one shift.
Yeah, just like just one play. You don't even realize it's there.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're on the NLL. They won't have a jersey ready for them, so who cares?
Yeah. Hey, I want to, before you kick me off your show, I want to correct you that baseball game's today at 3, not 8. So you probably, small print, probably look like an 8, but it's actually a 3. Starts in an hour and a half.
Oh, did I say?
You said 8. It's okay.
Oh, wow. Okay, interesting.
I
saw the 3 and I said 8 for some dumb reason. That's crazy.
No big deal, Julian. That's a Trailer Park Boys reference.
All right, man. You and your dang references from the 90s. Nobody cares. I'm kidding. Thank you, Gamble Guy. Extended show today for you. Extended segment for you. Thank you so much. You can enjoy the 1 o'clock.
I love the 1 o'clock. It's perfect. I just got my sweat on at the tennis club, and you're delaying my cleaning and shaving, so I'm not in a hurry to do that. So,
are those like cleaning the house, or is like cleaning the body and shaving the body?
Well, cleaning the house and the body.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Double G. Have a good one, man.
I'm like a bird. I only fly away.
Poor Wings.
Bye, Philadelphia.
Unbelievable. That was a riot. Thank you so much, Gamble Guy, once again for coming on the show all season long. We got 2 more weeks of this. That's not bad. I'm sure he'll join us for the playoffs. I just thought I want to extend my appreciation. We'll be right back, folks. When we come back, I'm going to preview the weekend's games and just talk about what I think is going to happen. I'll tell you what my handicap scores were, and stay tuned for our best bets. You're watching Daily Dive.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening. You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back to Daily Dive, the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talks from the plant. I am your host, Michael Karvelis, thanking you for tuning in once again at our new start time of 1 o'clock Eastern. It's been awesome. You guys are fantastic. We are streaming live via North American Talk Radio on YouTube. And now that you're here, remember to subscribe and, of course, like this video and comment if you're feeling frisky. We're getting replay viewers. We love to see your comments as well. We just had Gamble Guy on to talk about his best bets, etc. So we appreciate him for coming on this here show. I'm just trying to finish up something in my notes here. But I mean, yeah, we've had a great time here. Week 19, there's 3 weeks left, including this one. So some teams have 4 games, but whatever. All right, so now let's talk about this weekend's games. Now, I do not have the pick'em graphic ready, and I ask you to forgive me on that one, but we got 5 games. My record currently stands at 59-46, all right? So with that in mind, we're going to first talk about the Las Vegas Underdogs and the Colorado Mammoth. I think the Mammoth will win this game 13-10. I know that Colorado, I know that Las Vegas has been looking better as of late. I know that Vegas has been, like I said before, Sean Williams has been pressing those correct coaching buttons. I understand all of that, but I also think Colorado is just the better team here. And I think that matters in a game like this. I feel like in a game it seems like, oh, well, vibes one way are in favor of Vegas. I feel like Colorado is going to lock it down. I feel like they're going to show that they are who we think they are, which is a tier 1, maybe tier 1, team 2 contender. But I think Vegas is at the bottom of tier 2, even the high tier 3 in terms of contenders. And I think Mammoth will show us who's boss in this game. Okay? So also, we then, oh, by the way, the odds on that game, Colorado, minus 159 on CoolBet, minus 210 on DraftKings. That's a lot. The total is at 24.5, even though on CoolBet, it's 23.5 if you like the over in that game. Just saying. That, yes, sir. Hello, Captain. Also, and I'll get to that in a minute, Captain. But yes. So also in that game, Colorado's offense has been better at home. And I think that could lean to a 23.5 over. So keep that in mind as we go about our business here. And again, since Captain wants me to say it now so he can go ahead and log off and stop watching, his safe ladder is on the Colorado Mammoth money line. And one of his greedy ladder legs is on Mammoth money line as well. These are on Bet365. So again, keep it in mind. We'll remind you on the other segment, Captain. He has a lot to say when he's off the show. I'm kidding. But yeah, I think Mammoth win 13-10. There you go. The Rochester Nighthawks travel to Halifax to take on the Thunderbirds. Listen, right now, Rochester finally got a big win when they pummeled Oshawa in Oshawa. I think that does matter because I feel like since the second half of that second Vegas game, they finally may have figured things out. I don't know if that's true, but it feels like for me that's where the vibes are heading, is the positive direction and not the other way. Now, I also want to mention Halifax. They have been playing better, but their offense still likes to not show up sometimes. And in a game like this, where, yeah, Warren Hill's had a great year, but I feel like this game could become a shootout. I think Rochester could win at those type of games. I also don't think this game will be a shootout. I think Rochester I think both teams defensively will be playing really well. And when we have a total that is currently at 24.5, I actually like the under. It's not on a best bet for me, but I would not mind if people pick the under for that game. So I think Rochester wins at 12-10. Captain mentions Halifax sucks at home. I mean, sure, but again, I think Rochester's going to win. Also, Captain does as well. For the record, Captain has a 41-37 pick'em record right now. The only person worse than me last week on pick'em was Captain, who went 1-5 last week. I went 2-4. But yeah, myself and Captain both agreed Colorado and Rochester win. Also, Tim Dillon, who's now at 54-51 and just 5 games behind me in our pick'em challenge here. He's got Las Vegas to beat Colorado. He's picked Vegas all season. And also, he's got Halifax to beat Rochester. So, and for the record, I could see the Thunderbirds winning this game. I just trust Rochester. I also think Rochester has more to fight for in this game. I told you guys, them only having 8 losses and not 9 is a massive deal at this point in the season. Next up, the Toronto Rock will host the San Diego Seals. Toronto is favored around the -145 mark. There is a -142 on FanDuel. The total is set at 20.5. I like the over here. I picked the Rock to win 12-10. I know when these two teams played before, it was 12-7 in favor of Toronto in San Diego. I just think the Rock's offense has looked better at home this season. And I think the Seals, if they can give me 8, probably 9 goals, but I could deal with 8. I feel like we could hit the over here. Again, I think the Seals get 10 on the board, but I'm going to need them to get probably 9 in order for this to work, and I think that'll happen. I know that Nick Rose will probably start in this game, especially after what happened in Philadelphia, but I do think the Rock are going to get a win. They get a comfortable 12-10. I could also see a 13-9 kind of game. I think this game goes over 20.5. I also think the Rock money line is a fair play here. And that, of course, is at, again, -142 on FanDuel. Again, these two teams seem a little bit evenly matched, even though I'm not buying it. But across the board here, myself, Captain, and Tim Dillon all have the Mammoth, all have the Rock, and I think that that's the right play here. The Vancouver Warriors travel to Banditland to take on the Buffalo Bandits, the reigning 3-time champions. Buffalo, of course, this season is now up to 9-6 with a 5-game win streak, including 6 of their last 7. When these two teams played in Vancouver, it was Buffalo's only loss in a 7-game span here, as Vancouver won that game 11-9. Now, I personally think Vancouver is the better team. I know Buffalo's been hot, but make no mistake, Vancouver is 11-4, and they are 5-1 in their last 6, all right? I think that Vancouver will sweep the Saskatchewan Rush. I think Vancouver will get even greater odds to win the finals, meaning it will go against you if you want to pick them. You better grab them now, because I think they're going to beat Buffalo and really put this conversation to bed. I think their chemistry is clicking. Their defense will be great. I think their offense can beat you in so many different ways. I think they've got a Curtis Dixon on the outside shot. Keegan Bull is a do-it-all kind of guy, both scoring and passing the ball. Marcus Claridge, Adam Shaw-Embiid has had a really good season. This team's got weapons. And Jesse King, for crying out loud. I think They can beat the Bandits. I think if they get a late 7-4 lead, Buffalo will not walk this team down. I think Del Bianco is too good. I think Del Bianco is a better goalie than Frank Giuliano. I don't care what percentages end up saying. Del Bianco is a better goalie. They have the better overall team. Vancouver will win this game. My pick in this game is 11-9. This game is actually a dead even -110 on CoolBet. You can get Vancouver at -105 and Buffalo as steep as -125 on DraftKings. But I think in this game, Vancouver's going to flex their muscles. Captain and Tim Dillon disagree with me. I think they're in for a rude awakening. I think so are Buffalo fans. Again, I'm not saying Buffalo's not a really good team. Their offense has been awful the last couple of games. I don't think that'll change against the Vancouver Warriors team, and I don't think people should expect it to change for this specific game or the matchup. I also think Joe versus Terrence under 4 points is a play for me on my best bets, as you will see in the next segment, all right? I also meant to mention this in our last game, that the other side of the greedy ladder for captain for the Mammoth money line is the Rock money line. So again, the safe ladder for captain is Mammoth money line. I'll put that on the screen now. And then captain's greedy ladder. I'm doing this right now as we speak. If you couldn't tell, I'm sure you can. It's Mammoth money line and, of course, Toronto Rock money line. So there's a safe ladder. Both of these are on Bet365. There's a greedy ladder, Mammoth money line, and Rock money line. Check him out at El Capitan Picks. He is doing great work over there. The Rock screwed him, so he said, screw the Rock. We're going to do Mammoth. Actually, put the Rock back on my line, I'm just saying. So there you go. But I think Buffalo beats Vancouver. I think Vancouver beats Buffalo. Captain and Tim Dillon are opposite there. Oshawa Firewolves at the Calgary Roughnecks. I think Oshawa has let me down, and now I see why. Their roster was not that good. Their offense is built to fail. And I think when their defense is not locking it down, their offense is not built to win. I know Alex Simmons and Ty Kurtz are young. I know I don't trust Dyson Williams. I like Ty Kurtz. I think Simmons is by far their best player. I think Dawson Thien's going to hog the ball. I think the Roughnecks are going to frustrate this team. I think the Roughnecks are going to start off early scoring, and I don't think they're going to look back. I've got the Roughnecks winning this game by a score of 13-11. I could also see 13-10. In case you're wondering, there is a difference in totals here. All the U.S. sports books have this total at 22.5. CoolBet has it 21.5. I like all of those to go over. I think if you can get the over 21.5 at CoolBet, you should take that. Over 22.5 at Bet365, I believe, is at plus 105. I also like that, in case you're wondering. So, that's it. And I believe Calgary wins. So does Tim Dillon. Captain is picking Oshawa, and I don't think that's smart. Then again, he makes the money. I don't. All right, folks, when we come back, we will show you the crew's best bets. We will also tell you again what the ladder is in case you are just joining the show right now. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Daily Dive.
You're listening to North American Talk Radio, the all-new talk radio station featuring sports, movies, politics, mental health, and more. Check us out at natalkradio.com and subscribe today. Buy event tickets straight from our website to help the cause and get tickets to your favorite events for less. That's natalkradio.com. Thanks for listening.
back to a Week 19 NLL preview. I'm your host, Michael Karvelis, here on Dilly Dive. We had on Gamble Guy earlier in the show to talk about the 5-game slate and his best bets. Gamble Guy currently has a 42-32 record of his straight-up picks with odds greater than 190. Pat Gregoire, who's been picking only cool bets this year, is at a 41-26-3 record. I am at 43-33 after a 2-3 week last weekend. Gamble Guy went 3-2 last week. Pat Gregoire went 2-2. Alrighty, folks, we also told you, in case you missed it, Captain Safe Ladder will be the Colorado Mammoth money line. That is on Bet365, and that is at -170. I believe that we are back to step one on that. And the Greedy Ladder is Mammoth money line and the Rock money line on there as well. So both of these are step one. I'm not sure what those odds are, but Captain, I trust you on that. Again, both of those are on Bet365. I also told you our pick'ems for this week. I bring a 59-46 record. I've got Mammoth, Nighthawks, Toronto Rock, Vancouver Warriors over Buffalo, and Calgary Roughnecks over Oshawa. Captain brings a 41-37 pick'em record. He also has Colorado and Oshawa and Toronto, but he has Buffalo to beat Vancouver, and he has Oshawa to beat Calgary. Tim Dillon, who brings a 54-51 record on pick'em, picks Toronto as well and Calgary like I did. He picks Buffalo like Captain did, and he believes Las Vegas will beat Colorado and Halifax will beat Rochester. Now it's time for the crew's best bets, including those of Pat Gregoire, and here they are. So as you'll notice, I have the Mammoth money line, as does Gamble Guy. That can be found at -159 on Cool Bets. If you are in the United States, again, the Colorado Mammoth can be found at -210 on DraftKings. The best book in the United States in terms of Mammoth money line is -168 on FanDuel. The Toronto Rock money line is what myself and Gamble Guy also have. That's -142 on FanDuel, in case you're wondering. On Cool Bet, Toronto is at Toronto's at -147. But myself and Gamble Guy will take -139 or -142 on FanDuel here in the States. Now, also on the San Diego-Toronto game, I've got the over 20.5. That can be found at -110 on Bet365. So keep that in mind. I think the Rock will score about 13 goals there. I just need San Diego to score 8, preferably 9, but I could get away with 8 if Toronto Rock do what I think they can. Next up, I've got in the Oshawa-Calgary game, give me the over 21.5. That's at -110 on Cool Bets. You can also find it in the States at +105 on Bet365 to go over 22.5. I went with a lower total because I have the over there, and that's on Cool Bets. And I believe Georgia Terrence will be under 4 points, so give me 3 or less, and we will hit yet another player prop this season. Gamble Guy right now, again, I told you Mammoth money line. He has the Rock money line. Also, Thunderbirds money line, it's Rochester. That can be found at -139 on Cool Bet. In the States, the Thunderbirds money line is around -140. That can be found on DraftKings or FanDuel, in case you're wondering. He also likes the under 20.5 for Vancouver and Buffalo. Again, I like that as well. That's at an even 20 on Cool Bet. But if you can find FanDuel or the others, take that when you can. I like that under. 20.5 is a little bit high. Well, I don't say high. 20.5 is low, but I think for a championship match like this, it makes sense. He also likes the Roughnecks money line. That's -118 on Cool Bets, and it can be found at -128 on FanDuel here in the United States. And finally, All of these bets are on Cool Bet, as always, for Pat Gregoire. He likes Las Vegas and Colorado tonight to go over 23.5. He thinks The Rock, as well as me and Gimbal Guy, will beat the Seals. He got the Rock money line there. He's got Oshawa Calgary over 21.5. And tonight as well, he's got Adam Patra with over 3 points. I like that play. It feels like a winning week. We'll see what happens. I know last week we went a combined 7-7. So let's get above 500 again. We had a hot streak there. Let's keep that going again. Week 19 of the NLL season is upon us. I cannot wait. And again, captain's ladders, both on Bet365 Step 1. Safe ladder, Mammoth Money Line. Greedy ladder is Mammoth Money Line and Rock Money Line as a parlay. Ask him on Twitter what those odds are plus money on that parlay. All right, folks, we hope you have a great rest of your day. This has been the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talks on the plants. I'm your host, Michael Karvelis. Stay safe. We'll see you Monday, same time, same place, 1 o'clock Eastern, right here on North American Talk Radio's YouTube channel. This has been Daily Dive. Have fun.